So question 4 says highlight characteristics of Internet of Things. So this is also called IoT. So the first characteristics of Internet of Things is basically connectivity. So IoT have devices that are interconnected, and these devices are connected maybe through the internet, just to allow these devices to communicate with each other and with the centralized system. So this will enable the devices to exchange data in real time, in a very fast rate, or what we call real time. And this uses remote control devices, and this will help these IoT devices to have an automized decision making system, a very fast, efficient decision making system. The IoT systems also have sensors and data collection. So they are equipped with the various sensors. So these sensors are used to gather information from the surrounding. The information could be in form of temperature, humidity, location, motion, even other many data that can be collected through these ways. So then this data is transmitted to the centralized system for the same analysis and also for the same decision making. Another characteristic is data analysis and insights. So after this information has been generated, this enormous amount of information is collected and processed, and this data is then finally analyzed. So after analysis has been made, now there are various decisions or information, or what we call insights, can be then gotten out of this information that has been gathered. So now this could be made possible by use of data analytics and maybe machine learning methods. We also have automation and control. So these devices are always programmed, and they are controlled remotely, not within the same environment. So this will allow for automation of tasks and processes based on data received from the sensors that are gathering information, and therefore analysis can easily be performed. So we have examples here. We have what we call the thermostats that can be automatically adjusted, adjust the temperatures of buildings or rooms based on preferences or weather conditions. So this always lead to increased comfort within these buildings or houses. So that is automation and control. Then the second part of the question says propose four duties of an information center in an organization. 4 duties of an information center in an organization. So information center is a very important part of an organization. So the first thing, or the first duty that an information center will perform in an organization is basically for collection of information. So this information is collected, stored, and therefore it can also be retrieved from the information center. So this information is collected, it is organized in a particular manner, it is stored, and this information could include things like documents in an organization, reports, different databases, and even digital contents. So then wherever there is need to retrieve this information, there could be easy way by which different departments can or individuals can retrieve this information from the information center. We also have information dissemination. So the information center is responsible for distributing. Dissemination basically includes distributing information from one source. So the information center is responsible for distributing information to the appropriate recipients within this organization. So it will basically ensure that the right people have access to the right information at the right time. So it could be disseminated using emails, it could be disseminated using internet portals, it could be disseminated using physical documents or even other digital platforms. Then we also have information management and quality control. So these information centers maintain the quality and accuracy of information that it is managing. It could involve implementing information governance practices, version control, metadata tagging to keep information up to date, reliable, and even secure. So that is another function or role of information system. So the information center can also help dearly in user support and training. So remember, the people within the organizations that are using the information systems, they need some training. So now the information center will provide support to these people, the employees and users who need assistance in maybe finding, assessing, or understanding information resources. They may offer things like training. They may offer things like guidance on how to use information systems and even databases. Remember, this could be technological or complicated systems that are not easily used or are not easily accessed by these users who might be very new to this system. So there ought to be some form of training for these employees to adopt these systems. Then question G says, ABC Transport Company has adopted to train its users before a new system is implemented. Suggest 4 benefits of training users before a new system is implemented. So this is where the new system is supposed to override or overtake a system that was being used by these people, but they opt to train them first. So the first benefit of training these users prior to rolling out this new system is increased user proficiency, or the users are going to be competent or proficient, or they are going to be skilled because this training will equip them with the knowledge and skills that they need to operate the new system effectively. So this will result in increased user productivity, or what we can say proficiency. It will also reduce the likelihood of errors and enhance the productivity from the very beginning, because the users are able to use these systems and they are not going to maybe make errors or maybe get stuck from one time to another. We also talk about smooth transition. That's another benefit of training users before rolling out a new system. So as users are being trained, or after they have been trained, the new system will be rolled out smoothly. They will easily accept or be comfortable with the changes that have been made due to or been brought about by the advent of the new system. So this will minimize resistance and negative impact on their daily operations. So remember that this employee can also sometimes reject, or they can resist the change because they are used to the old system. We also have higher adoption rates. So training may foster users' confidence. It may increase user confidence and familiarity with the new system. So when the users feel competent and comfortable with the technology, they are more likely to embrace it. They will adopt it quicker, and therefore the return for this new system is also in a good position to be realized in good time. Then lastly, we can talk about reduced support and maintenance costs. So when these users or employees are well trained, they are less likely to encounter problems that may require extensive support. So this always result in reduced support and maintenance cost for companies. So this will be the same case for ABC Transport Company, because there will be fewer requests for assistance, there will be fewer requests for troubleshooting, which could also cost the company. Then there is this question here that says, outline 4 benefits of using joint application design technique in design of information system. So the joint application design, number 1, it always enhance stakeholders involvement. Remember, JAD or joint application design, as what we call sessions. So these sessions always bring together various stakeholders. These stakeholders could include end users, the business analysts, the IT professionals, and all those people who are going to use this system in one way or another. So they will actively participate to ensure that this information system design will reflect the actual need and their expectations. So this will lead to a system that is more aligned with the user's goals. So it is not too much based on the preferences of the designers, but it is aligned to whatever the users are expecting. It also have what we call improved communication. It enhances improved communication, because the sessions that we've talked about will facilitate open and transparent communication among these stakeholders. So they will be in a position to get clarification, or also to clarify their requirements, and this will resolve any potential conflict that will come about, and will ensure that all parties have a shared understanding of the system design and functionality. So this improved communication will reduce any possible misunderstanding and any subsequent risk of design flaws that may arise later on. Also, we have faster decision making that will come about due to judge, because during these same sessions that we are talking about, where the stakeholders will be coming in, there can be quick address of design issues, and therefore critical decisions and priority features are able to be understood, and they are able to be implemented in good time. Also, we have higher quality output. So because every stakeholder is involved, is included in this design process, the result is much more comprehensive and accurate, because remember, we've said that there is nothing that will be left unturned. There is going to be consideration from all aspects, and every person that is going to use this system is in a position to give their view about the system. And lastly, in this question, define cell referencing in the context of spreadsheet application. So cell referencing is just in this context of a spreadsheet application, it just refers to the practice of identifying and referring to specific cells within a spreadsheet by using a combination of letters and numbers known as cell addresses or references. For example, we talk about a sheet. A spreadsheet is made up of sheets. It is made up of workbooks. So when you look at a copy or a page in a spreadsheet, you realize that the columns are labeled using letters A, B, C, D continuously. And then also we have the rows that are labeled using numbers. So now wherever the rows coincide with the columns, we call that a cell. So to identify this cell, we use a combination of these rows which are labeled using letters, and columns that are labeled using letters, and rows that are labeled using numbers. For example, I can call a cell A2. It just means that this cell lies in column 2 row, in column A row 2. So this a technique of identifying and referring to these specific cells using these letters and numbers instead of using any other means is known as cell address or cell referencing. Then, using example, explain one type of cell referencing. So we have what we call relative cell referencing. We have two types of cell referencing. We have what we call absolute cell referencing, and we also have what we call relative cell referencing. So in this case, we only need one. So relative cell referencing is when you use relative cell references in a formula. So the reference may be based on the position of the cell relative to the cell containing the formula. For example, I have a cell A1, and this cell A1, in this cell A1, I will need to maybe input a particular formula, and this particular formula should apply to other cells that are adjacent to this same cell. So now, after doing this one formula, I expect that this formula will be copied along to bring about the same result, though based on different cells adjacent to this same cell. So now this is an example of a relative cell referencing.